Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming, alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I am perpetually plagued by Moses himself.
I'm Sean Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
Remington, my lad, you look a bit dead, mate.
That's my perpetual state. I've had quite a week just in my day-to-day life. Been very busy doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but a lot of that is over now for the most part, and you
It's
finally
true.
have a bit of a reprieve.
Yeah, for those who don't know, been doing a lot of school stuff. Did finals this past week, as well as, between finals and ranking Pokemon based on how fuckable they are, it's a lot. It's just a lot, man.
Oh, God. It's a sliding scale of lawful to chaotic there, and I don't know how to feel about that.
twitch.tv/anime out of context if you want to check that out.
It's also on our YouTube channel as well.
Yep.
But, understandably so, you've been through a lot lately. And because of that...
And, grandmother's corpse dust last week. It's just... Whoo-wee!
It's been a lot to process, really.
It has.
Mostly processing why people still listen to our show. That's been the biggest issue, I think. But all 12 of you that still listen to us, we love and appreciate you.
Y'all are great.
But with that being said, Remington, I figured that this week I would, I'd do a nice. I'd be a nice guy for once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because, it's been a while since I just saw you, showed you something nice, good, and wholesome.
I mean, last week was sort of wholesome, with a few asterisks on it.
I would say some pretty heavy-handed asterisks, honestly.
But I'm okay if we get some just, non-asterisk wholesome content up in this bitch.
Mm-hmm. And asterisk...
Give me some more, goddamn banana. That's lovely.
There are... I don't know, mate. There were a lot of asterisks in Banana, in my personal opinion. I had so many questions, and I feel like some of them
And I answered them all.
Yeah, you did answer them, Rem. But I don't know if you answered them, if you catch my meaning.
All right. So what are we jumping into?
Well, Remington, I have one that I've been keeping in my back pocket for quite some time. And... It's a bit of a return to a genre that we have not really tapped on for a while. And that being the wholesome father-daughter relationship.
Oh, okay. The one the example that we've probably cited the most of this is Sweetness and Lightning, right?
Correct.
Some Ghibli's also have that. Those are the things present in my mind.
Yeah. Totoro had that element a little bit.
Yeah, and then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood had that. For a time.
Yeah, I mean, technically mother-kid relationship, but
Well, I'm talking about the.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, let's just say that pets are good for child growth. I mean, it's a real bonding experience after all, having a pet.
So, what's going on? What's this family like?
The anime that we're going to be talking about today is Usagi Drop.
Oh, but of course, and then you pick it back up. It's always the stupidest shit that can get him.
That was so dumb, Remington. Why is that so funny to me? I need more sleep.
Oh, this is a nice sleep-deprived episode for the both of us, so I'm sure it'll go great.
Yeah. You because of real legitimate reasons, and me because, I'm like the opposite of an insomniac. I sleep too much, and therefore I'm tired all the time.
Fair enough.
But
All right,
no.
So what's it
Usagi
about?
Drop. So in case you want to know the English translation, it's a real complex one, so I will tell it to you slowly. Usagi drop translates to bunny drop.
All right. Why are we dropping a bunny?
I mean,
Is this like a really fucked up, like, all right, class, physics class, the teacher comes in and it's like, all right, so I know how we scheduled the egg drop today. However, some of you have been slacking. Some of you have not been putting in the effort. So we've decided to increase the stakes, all right? Let's hope that you understand this shit perfectly. You're gonna drop the bunny. If its skull cracks, you're out.
Pakora's life hangs in the balance. Hold on tight. Not quite. No. No, that's just the title of the show. And it's a bit of a found family story, Remington. It's about our main character, Daikichi Kawachi. He's a 30-year-old bachelor who's, just kind of moseying on through life with a respectable job, but he just doesn't really have much purpose going on. Until one day, his grandfather suddenly passes away.
Because it's anime.
You can't have parents no matter how old you are in anime. It just doesn't work that way. Parents are an automatic death sentence.
which then episode 2, he gets a child and he dies, and it's
a vicious cycle, really.
It's really traumatic.
Yeah, this really wholesome story is actually a really dark cycle of parenticide. Is that patricide? That's what it's called, patricide. Thank you.
There you go.
I know words. I study English sometimes. Can't speak it too well, though. It's a bit rough. And his grandfather suddenly passes away. So when he goes to pay his respects at the funeral, he runs into a young girl named Rin, who, to his astonishment, is actually his grandfather's illegitimate daughter.
Oh, so he's going to adopt his sister.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Sure.
And this anime is just the story of being a sudden parent and taking care of a young, shy girl.
All right.
With the family drama of, hey, granddad had an affair and a child at some point.
But this girl doesn't just, emerge from, for example, a capsule or some such.
No.
Cool.
No, thank God. No. God.
Just check it.
Don't remind me of the atrocities.
All right. Well, it seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized you're talking about Hinamatsuri and not the fucking Conception game that I had to play. Yeah, see, that's funny and wholesome. This one is a bit more set in reality, for the most part. And Rem, I don't know if you watched the VOD or our bonus episode on the Conception game, but
Of course not.
Let's just say that kids pop out of Matryoshka gacha machines. It's not important, but I'm forever traumatized by that fact.
All right, so this part 1 of the podcast is shaping up to be a mess where we talk about everything except the actual anime.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Remington, there's not a whole lot to describe to you. I kind of just hit you with the straightforward stuff. It's got a lot of that moe cute family stuff. Rin is just adorable, and it's a very interesting character study on found family and how it is to be a new found parent when you weren't expecting it.
Sure.
Yeah. Has some good wholesome backbones, and a lot of people really, really enjoy this anime.
All right.
Yeah, nice and simple, right? I think
it seems to be.
Rem, do you think I'm hiding something from you?
It is the nature of the podcast.
It is, but I am actually being nice this time around. You just got done with finals, you are mentally and physically exhausted. I figured showing you a nice, wholesome father-daughter story could be a very nice change of pace and break for you.
Yeah, so what's actually going on?
Rem?
What's the real situation?
Rem, for once, I am not fucking with you. That is the situation. This whole anime, it's only an 11-episode anime. That's it. It's literally just exploring the relationship between these two characters and how their family relationship is intertwined. Because after all, Rin is a bit of, a obvious black sheep in the family because she's, a bastard.
How is their relationship explored?
Wholesomely.
Okay.
Yep, definitely wholesomely.
You son of a bitch!
I'm being honest. In the anime, it is
don't
completely wholesome.
Oh God! All right, okay, all right. So there's more here. I don't know if you're gonna share it now or if you're gonna make me wait till I watch it and part 2 of the podcast. But
Rem, trust me. This
Oh,
anime is perfectly wholesome and well intended.
okay, let's just get into it. Let's delve into it. Let's see what the fuck you're hiding.
You won't be. If I was hiding anything, Rem, you would not be able to figure out what it is. But with that being
What does that
said,
mean? What does that even mean, dude?
look, if I was hiding something this time around, I'm just saying, watching the anime would not let you figure it out.
Does it have like a fucked up manga? Is there some weird Rule 34 nonsense? What's going on?
Look, you don't need to worry about it, Rem. We just need to go and watch the wholesome father-daughter anime. So without further ado, Remington, let's go watch some Usagi drop.
Previously,
Does it have like a fucked up manga? Is there some weird Rule 34 nonsense? What's going on?
up next.
He is a murderer, yeah. Like, he doesn't get charged, which, you know, I think is a lazy decision. Send that bastard to prison.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after consuming 3 whole episodes of the hit anime Usagi Drop. And Remington, I'm very curious to hear what you think about this show, as it has, you know, those strong themes of parenthood and being a single father.
All right, so in part 1, I was a little bit suspicious. I thought that you were trying to pull something. I had a hunch. I had something smelled funny. Something smelled rotten in the state of Denmark, Sean. After watching 3 episodes, I can confirm that it was just a very sophisticated double bluff. Some may call it telling the truth the whole time. However, some may say Sean just said it was a wholesome show about family and parenthood, and indeed it was. Those people didn't see the layers of bluffing involved.
You really think I would layer such a complex system, an Inception-level scheme of lies and deceptions, all to trick you into thinking there was something wrong with this anime, when in fact it was just a cute, wholesome anime about a found family.
Listeners, I encourage, if you doubt me, go back, listen to part 1 very, very closely. I'm telling you, it's an onion, shit got layers, okay? But yes, indeed, this is just a wholesome show about parenthood.
Yeah.
Very straightforward.
Sometimes I tell the truth, Remington.
So immediately in the show, the thing that will stick out to everybody within the first 10 seconds is the very unique art style that has been lovingly crafted. Like, the show is very pretty, and you can tell that the animators really care.
Yep.
Which is delightful. I love that. It has a strong visual identity. It's adorable, and it's very expressive, which works. As you mentioned in part 1, the first episode takes us to Grandpa's funeral, where we meet the family and the girl. I will say the family, not super developed, especially initially. Mm-hmm. It's essentially the whole family's thing is let's neglect the 6-year-old. And like, that's in the first episode, that is all of their entire character. With the exception of Reina, who's another 6-year-old girl, whose character is being obnoxious as fuck. So that's so that covers all of the characters beyond the main 2. Which I think is like not a great decision. It's fine. It's whatever, but it's obviously to help increase sympathy within the audience, but without building any like nuance or complexity or interesting characters early on. It's very unfortunate how the entire family beyond Daikichi is just like does not give a shit about this orphaned 6-year-old at all. Like, you can have them be like a little bit resentful of the circumstances while still being very sympathetic. But no, in episode 1, they have no sympathy. They don't give a fuck.
How dare Grandpappy have an illicit relationship and a child? How dare he? And leave us with this burden.
I think you could have one or two. I think you'd have one or two characters who behave in that way, but you need to have someone be like, "Hey, it's not her fault though." But you don't really get that. They sort of come around in future episodes, but if anything, that just makes their characterization worse. It's not great.
No.
It works, but only just.
But we're not here for them, Remington.
It's true. It's true. We're here for Rin. Rin is the star of the show. She's the little 6-year-old orphan that's taken in by Daikichi, and they have a lovely relationship. You might think that good old Poppy here, he might be a little bit uncertain on how to be a father figure, and he's uncertain on the logistics, but he behaves as if he's been a father for years. He is the most well-experienced father I have ever seen who has never been a parent.
So the secret to being a good parent is to have no idea what you're doing.
Apparently. Like, it's interesting because it's super wholesome, but the only conflicts thus far are entirely external, and I don't know if that's the best decision. Like, I appreciate him just being a wholesome dad, but this is gonna sound weird. He's a Gary Sue of a father. He's too good of a dad, Sean. He's too good.
You're saying he's a pinnacle of fatherhood and that's a problem?
I'm saying the fact that he's gone from being like bachelor businessman to all of a sudden single father, there are probably going to be some more internal conflicts than is presented, because right now he is a flawless dad who just struggles with balancing like being a father with work sometimes. And even that, he's just like, oh, I'm going to get a transfer so that I can change my hours a little bit. And yeah, it'll be a little bit detrimental to the job, to the business, but going to just focus on the kid. And it's sort of a conflict, but not really.
Yeah, I will say that a lot of the conflicts later on are definitely on him trying to figure out the best way to help raise a child, because that's confusing.
Yep.
But very early on, the hardest part is figuring out those external issues and the logistics of being a father.
Yeah.
Because neither of us are parents.
No.
For good reason.
That probably. We know of.
That we know of. But if we were, I feel like being thrown into this situation would be quite problematic, and we'd be scrambling to figure things out, and everything would be external at first.
True.
But I will confirm that as the show goes on, there are a lot more conflicts that are internal, while still maintaining its wholesome, trying to be a single dad veneer.
Yep. So this show, it also like doesn't really have episode by episode plot very much. All right, so we get into episode 2. In episode 2, I guess the plot is that father finds a nursery school that works for like quickly finding a nursery school. It's a little bit far. He promises he'll be back and he pinky swears, but he's a little bit late because of work. And that's the whole thing. Very simple, very straightforward. But it's like the details that really make the show come to life. I think this show does a really good job at like background characters feel fun and interesting even when they're like very obviously ensemble. I wouldn't go so far as to say it seems like they have lives beyond this, but at least all the ensemble characters feel as authentic people, right? Mm-hmm. They feel more than just ensemble, even if they don't feel like wildly complex by any means. Also, just the details in the characters, their interactions together. It's real heartwarming, real wholesome. And Rin has great facial expressions all the time. Oh, yeah. Just absolutely delightful.
Rin is adorable. She's just this precious little sunflower that you must protect.
It's true. In contrast to her, I guess, her, oh God, grandniece? Would Rena be her grandniece? Yes. Yeah, okay, that's how that. Yeah, all right. So,
Oh God, yeah, no, I never really thought about it, but that is how that shakes out, doesn't it?
her grandniece Rena, who's the same age, is just an abomination upon God, man. Every time Rena is on the screen, it hurts. Rena's probably a more authentic representation of a 6-year-old. And I hate it, so...
Oh God, so you're saying that real 6-year-olds are the worst, and we should just stick to watching them in anime?
Yeah. If we just have, like, all right, we have babies, and then the next year they're, like, 8 years old. That'd be great.
Just skip all of the toddler era and the awful horribleness, and then
skip
and then
ages
get to...
2 through 7, I think, and and I think that the process of child rearing and society at large just becomes a lot better.
Because those years, they're not important, really. We should just lock them in a cryogenic tube for that time period, and then once they're of the appropriate age, then we pop them out, and they'll be just the perfect children.
I cannot imagine anything that would go wrong with this plan from a developmental point of view, Sean. So episode 3, we talk about death, death and bedwetting, which is
those seem like two very incongruous ideas there, Remington.
Joke's on you,
is
death.
there something that you and I need to talk about, or
Questions of Death and Bedwetting is the title of my memoir. So, really, just... I often have a little nighttime surprise when I'm filled with insurmountable existential dread, as you know from all the times we've slept together. And...
that's not as much of a far-fetched thing as it sounds.
Well, you have to specify which part is not far-fetched.
I feel like leaving it to the imagination does a lot, Remington. I feel like we can't just guide people directly to where their minds will go. It's rude. Clearly, they are smart and reasonable people, and they'll understand exactly what we mean when we say that we sleep with each other. We used to sleep with each other on the regular, you know?
True.
Not as much anymore, but, you know, it happens.
So, the episode opens with Rin asking Daikichi, hey, am I gonna die too? And, and he's like, what? Oh boy, what a question. And he decides to just distract her by picking her up and slamming her head right into the ceiling. And
Nothing.
Spoiler alert, it was just very quick foreshadowing. Am I gonna die? And then he kills her. Gives her brain.
Yeah, it's only a 3-episode OVA, funnily enough.
It comes as a shock. Like, you become invested into these characters, their relationship, and then boom, instant brain damage. This episode, it's just all about, like, is she gonna make it? No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
It's real fun.
It's a real dark show. Kills the 6-year-old episode 3. You never know.
Fucking tragic. The rest of the show is just Daikichi just trying to fucking cope. And he doesn't cope well. So
I mean, because he's a murderer.
He is a murderer, yeah. Like, he doesn't get charged, which, you know, I think is a lazy decision. Send that bastard to prison. But yeah, no, it is just straight up manslaughter. Some might think it was intentional. I don't think so. I think
no.
Clearly
I think
accidental.
he cared. It was definitely an accident, but he does need to suffer for it.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely. I also, like, I think that it's implying towards the end of episode 3, like, when she does die, obviously, the emphasis is on the tragic side of things, right? And Daikichi, he's torn up about it, just fucking distraught. But there also seems to just be, like, an internal, they seem to be implying, like, a psychological break from reality, at the very end there, which I liked. I appreciated that. I'm interested to see where that goes.
Honestly, me too. It'll be great when we revisit the show, and that's exactly how it goes.
There's like 5 to 10% of our audience is like, but holy fuck, is this how this goes? Is this is a joke? Or
they've been going on about it for a while. Is this really?
And they should know,
Guys.
we don't joke. There's
No, we're
not
not
been
funny.
a single joke ever told on this podcast.
Nope. Goofs have not been in the room since episode 1, honestly.
What do you think this is, Mabim Bam? No, get your laughs out of here.
Nah. Those people have talent and are funny all the time. This is a serious program.
Get your comedy and your chuckles and your chortles the fuck out of here, all right? All we have here is tragically dead kids.
If I so much as hear a giggle, that's it. Podcast over.
That's it.
Game over, man.
Oh God. Yeah, no, I think we've about covered.
Oh God. Just to part the kimono, guys. It's a wholesome show. The kid doesn't die. You're fine. If you still believed it up to that point.
I don't know, man. I think that the rest of it is really just an elaborate dream sequence, as implied thus far through a few dreams. And that it is the case that she actually died in that moment. So, it's just a more symbolic thing. It's
a symbolic death, if you will.
There's a lot more ambiguity around it than we presented it, but that's my headcanon.
So it's a Shaft production.
Precisely.
Yeah, I was wondering why they were tilting their heads so much, and apparently he tilted her head so hard that it snapped in two.
In this episode, we search around for Grandpa's shit, find a modem that we don't know anything about yet, other than, like, it was there. And we figured out that Rin's mom may be the maid who Rin hates.
Yep.
And that's about it.
That's about it. So, do you have any major final thoughts on it then there, Ren?
Well, I'm a sucker for child murder, so 10 out of 10.
So in actuality, care to take a guess at the MAL score of this show, Remington? It's only got 11 episodes to it.
Okay, well, that is a good number of episodes. For me, not for weebs, unfortunately.
Actually, most people agree that these 11 episodes were perfectly laid out and paced.
Oh, thank God.
Yep.
I think this deserves like an 8. 8.09.
Ooh, very specific. Not quite the 8.1 range, but 8.09.
Yep.
Okay, well, you're actually pretty close. With around 200,000 users on it, Usagi Drop has a MAL score of 8.42.
Oh, even higher than I anticipated.
Yep. It is currently the number 145th ranked series on the site.
God damn!
And no, this anime is long beloved because it tackles some very interesting and heavy themes with a good amount of wholesomeness.
I'm trying to decide. All right, so I believe this show, first of all, it's a good show. It's a pleasant show. It's a lovely show. I'm trying to figure out if my critique of it, it's one of two things. It's either deep but lacking in emotional complexity, or it is somewhat shallow but emotionally complex. And I'm not sure which one is the case, because I do feel like there are times where it's just a little too straightforward. There lacks a lot of like nuance that I feel like can be explored in even a very wholesome show like this. Which doesn't mean that it's a bad show by any means. It's just that I feel like there's just a missing ingredient there.
A missing ingredient, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I feel like that probably would have been alleviated if we had watched, the whole series, but...
And I'm not saying the missing ingredient is child murder,
but...
Unless. Just kidding. Unless.
So overall, positive review of the show. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Rem. But there is one thing that I have to talk to you about.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I had a major debate about this, and I've gotten a lot of, I've had emails for this show since the beginning, Rem.
Yep.
And I figured now was the time to do it. And, funnily enough, there is actually a little bit of a controversy about this show.
A controversy?
Yes. And I'm only getting into it now because I needed your opinion to be untainted.
Oh, no.
Because by and large, this anime is fantastic and wonderful and deserves every point it gets on MAL.
Yup.
Here's the thing, though, Rem.
Oh, no.
The manga has probably one of the worst endings in manga history.
Oh?
And just about everybody who wanted me to show you the show begged me, just from the bottom of their hearts, to not mention the manga to you, Remington.
And so, in traditional anime out of context style, you're throwing caution to the wind and saying, fuck 'em.
Yeah, so if you want to leave this episode right now, that is completely fine. If you just want to go and watch a nice wholesome show, go right ahead. But because what I'm about to do is to spoil the entire manga for you.
Oh god. All right, cool. So, goodbye to everyone who's leaving. Watch the show. It's lovely. All right,
It is wonderful.
Let's get into these spoilers.
Okay, so this manga was great and beloved for the longest time until volumes 8 through 10 came out.
Yep.
And shortly before volumes 8 through 10, we actually got a bit of a time skip, Remington.
Okay.
It was a time skip about 10 years into the future so that we can kind of see how things got on after some of the major plot points were resolved in the first 2/3 of the story. You know, because everyone wants to see that kind of growth in characters eventually down the line. You know,
I guess. Sure.
Yeah, no, time skip's a very powerful and useful tool to use and can lead to more drama because, I mean, raising a 6-year-old and raising a teenager are two very different things after all.
Oh, of course.
So, of course, the best way to explore both of these things is to have a little bit of a time skip so you can explore the nuances of raising a teenager. And Remington, I regret to inform you that the way this manga goes is it shows Rin in high school, who she's very similar to the way she was as a kid, but, you know, a little on the more stoic side and a bit more, you know, contemplative and straightforward.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the anime ends before the time skip happens at all, and had no plans of continuing after this point.
Yeah, fair decision.
Which great decision. For everybody agrees. And the main plot thread here is that Rin is concerned with her emotional state. And her emotional state is simply she doesn't find any of the guys in her class to be very interesting or attractive.
I'm concerned about where this is going.
And she is spending most of this time period hanging out with her childhood friend, who she meets at the daycare. I don't know if you got a chance to meet him yet. I don't think so. And, you know, is having these conversations and thought, oh, maybe this is a good setup for her to end up with her childhood friend and all that jazz. But eventually, in about, I think it's volume 9, end of 8, volume 9, something like that, she comes to realize that the reason that she isn't really a big fan of all of the kids in her class is because, well, quite simply, they are not Daikichi.
Yeah, I was worried about this.
And unfortunately, she realizes that she has romantic feelings for Daikichi. And, you know, these kinds of conflicts can be interesting in a drama setting. Sure, that's fine. We've talked about it in the past.
What a wildly unnecessary turn for this.
Oh, it gets better. And by better, I mean horrible. And so she does what, honestly, is probably a good move. She confronts Daikichi about this, who is currently in his 40s.
Oh, God, dude.
And he's it seems like she understands that this is a bad feeling. This is not the thing that she should be feeling.
Correct.
And she confronts Daikichi with this, and some convoluted stuff happens. He tells her that this is wrong at first. And then we get some convoluted facts that kind of point to her not actually being related to him at all.
Oh, God.
And that he would make a deal with her if she makes it through all of high school without dating anybody, then he will do the relationship with her.
What the fuck?
And then the series ends with them getting married.
Yo, not only is that fucked up, that deal right there, that's straight up grooming.
Yes, it
that's
is,
not
Remington.
Even like, that's like, hey, save yourself for me. Stay isolated and separate. And then, like, I'm gonna say it. The most fucked up thing isn't that you are related by blood. It's that you fucking raised them.
From age 6 to 16,
like, that's not okay. Oh,
no, it is
God.
not. No, it is not, Remington.
What the fuck? Ooh, what the fuck?
Nah.
That tarnishes everything.
Yes, it does, Remington, which is why I wanted you to go into this blind.
It's the whole show, dude.
Yep.
Now you can't watch and be like, oh yeah, look at what a great father he is. You're just like, oh, look at him fucking grooming this poor woman.
No. It's not grooming until after the anime ends, Remington. Don't worry about it. Because clearly in the original story, the intention is clearly set on that. It's just for whatever reason, the author of the series decided to really really live out some kind of sick, twisted fantasy.
I don't know, man. Now this makes me even be like, I don't, the bedwetting episodes become a bit weirder, and everything's just, I don't like this at all.
Nobody does, Remington, which is why they begged me not to tell you about it.
What the fuck?
But I had to, Remington, because I know we're not going to revisit this series, just because there's not really much of a reason to, because you get the general idea, and if you watch the whole series, it's great, it's wonderful, it's fun. But as soon as you look up anything about this show outside of the show itself, you're going to be bombarded with manga spoilers everywhere. And I felt like not only was it my civic duty to inform the people listening to this show to this point, but I had to tell you, Rem, because if I have to suffer with this knowledge, you should too.
What the fuck?
So, all in all, Remington, this is a fantastic anime. I told you the truth 100%, which is why I said anime over and over and over and over and over again in the first part.
God damn it, I was correct to be suspicious all along, damn it!
It was a triple bluff,
Remington. It was a triple bluff!
The rare triple bluff that I rarely get to pull out, but I did this time for this very special occasion, and for like the 3 people who wanted me to tell you about the manga, you're welcome. For those who didn't want me to, I'm sorry, but he had to know, man. What if he had, think of it this way, Remington. What if you had started talking to somebody about how you really enjoyed Usagi Drop, how things went really well for you, thought it was a really lovely show, but you didn't know that this was how the manga ended.
Man, I don't even know how to engage with this conversation anymore. I'm a broken man.
Yep, it's been a while, Rem, but you had to know. Sometimes, Remington, the truth hurts the most. Now, it's up to us to decide whether or not everything before it is tainted, or if we can actually still enjoy it. I enjoyed researching this show. The only thing is I had to have a little bit of alcohol and push the dark thoughts to the back of my mind. So really, the moral of the story is, Remington, if you want a good father-daughter show, go watch Sweetness and Lightning. There's none of that. And with that, Remington, I guess my final question for you is, any chance you'd like to watch Usagi Drop with me again?
I don't think I can, Sean. I don't think
I
can.
That's a shame, Rem, because it's a wonderful anime that's fantastic and everybody should see it. But just try to pretend the manga doesn't exist. That's what we all do.
Oh, fuck.
And with that, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed our deep layers of Inception quality bluffs, then please head on over to wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, and leave us a review. You have no idea how much wonderful things it does for us. It helps us get out there, and we love and appreciate and read every single one. And if you'd like to support us even more directly, you can head over on to patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, where you can gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus content, including having the lovely Remington read out your name live on the podcast, with a varying degree of soul-crushedness. So, Remington, who are we thanking this week?
First, before I get into the names, I also want to note, hey, we have a Twitch channel that we're doing stuff semi-frequently on. I'm ranking Pokemon on totally normal criteria, and we also play some games. Twitch.tv/animeoutofcontext. Go check us out. Now back to Patreon. I would like to thank our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, as always, who we really appreciate. But I also want to send our regards next to our yandere waifus, who, as we are questioning whether or not we will die in the face of truths we never wanted to hear, just shove our head right into the ceiling, fracturing our skull forevermore. And on that list we have... It'll load, I swear. We have week 7 of making John Mulaney cry. Why did the Kingler go to the bar? He was feeling crabby. Walk Me Home Gently, Juliana, Trenton Towers, Totally God, The World Shall Know Propane, Sorry Mother, Snap Snips, Scoopy Loopy Boopy Doopy Hoopy Goopy Hoopy, Sarah Birch, Sammy Pritchard, Salty Pretzel, Sequoia Faye, Reverse Gizmo, Remington, Connoisseur of Anime Titties, oh god, Remington Merrill, Redneck Weeb, Ready to Be Isekai'd, Pre-Banter Can Still Get You Pregnant, One Moose, Many Mooses, no, I can't possibly say this name on the podcast. I'd rather watch every episode of Ramo than read this name.
Is that the actual name? Or...
yeah, it's, They get more creative every day. Nice Boat, My Besto Friendo, Megan Jonick, Matthew, I listened to all the episodes before subscribing and all I got was this lousy shout-out drum. Matthew G, Mahu no Pug Tears, Luke Offenberger, Lonely Geek 23, Juan Joritos, Jax, Jack of Spades. If 10 yanderes love the same guy, is it a harem or a battle royale? Period, question mark. Ichigo Sims 015, I'm once again inviting you all to Warhammer. Hwood, hey Rem, who is best girl, Enma, J-Chad, or Genma?
Based on the names alone, I suppose.
Obviously, alright, so the last one's just their ship, I assume, but...
No. They're all 3 individual people.
Oh, okay, I'm going Enma. Hanekawa, Glenn Michael Dolan, Ghostly Bishi, Sean rapping Christmas carols is my religion and antidepressants. Fuck of love, Foxen Boy, Farmer Weeb wants and Joey Wheeler. Hey, Yugs, Onise! It breaks me. That one broke me. Arrogate bonus week. I unironically believe that Rem would enjoy Katawa Shoujo. Any thoughts from Sean?
No spoilers. I already have plans.
Erica P, Darth Pikachu, Darkswarm713, Danny Morbido, Corey Dead 69, Christian Crawford, Cheese Monkey, Ariel Bird, Apostle of the Church of Remington, Anime Duck, Andrew Sinclair, Andrew Rauke, Elise Howard, and Alexander Nasi Insenio. Thank absolutely each and every single one of you. But we move on. We're heading over to Hogwarts for the Boy Wizard tier. And this week, for the Boy Wizard tier, each of our Boy Wizards is going to get their own random page from the Harry Potter wiki.
My God, Rem. You've scraped the barrel so clean, you've gone over to the meta barrel.
I'm just getting
Nobody
wood
should
at
go
this
to the
point.
meta barrel.
These are the wood shavings from the bottom. I'll be honest, probably less than a month left of strictly Harry Potter themed.
I'm amazed if you can get another month out of this.
Alright, so, that film guy, let's hit random page, and you are going to get Noriko Sato, who is a Japanese witch who played as the Seeker for the 2014 Japanese national Quidditch team.
Fuck, this is gonna be niche, isn't it?
Very, very niche. But apparently she did very well. So good on her. Then we have Rare Akarin Yoru Hajimario Yoru la 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 Yoru la 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 Yoru la 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 Dajiken Kumiko.
Fucking hell, mate. Are you okay?
I don't know. Red Page giving us just the best ones. Rare Kumiko, you are getting Wilhelm Wigworthy, who wrote Home Life and Social Habits of British Muggles in 1987. So,
God, that's gotta be a boring book.
so there you go. Good old Wilhelm Wigworthy. Worthy of all your wigs. Pilkster the Sympho Gear Advocate, you are going to get... Let's see if it'll be equally obscure. Oh, okay. You get, Moody's Trunk. So, it's a magical trunk owned by good old Moody.
I've been reading too many bad fan fiction and bad, like, anime manga lately because you said Moody's Trunk, and I was like, what?
You get...
Excuse me.
You get Mad-Eye Moody's Junk in the Trunk, Pilkster. MT the Poet. See, this is so great because I don't need to, like, decide... It just decides for me. You get Levitation Spell. Levioso. It's a charm that levitates object.
Cool. I mean, everyone knew that, but cool.
Yeah, I mean, very, very straightforward. You get the most high-profile one so far, MT the Poet. Miguel Deleon, you are going... Let's see if you can get as high-profile. You get Orion Black's Old Trousers.
Sorry?
It's a pair of old trousers that belong to Orion Black that were kept at the old Grimold place after his death.
Why does that have a wiki page?
It's a great question. So, there you go, Miguel. Then we move on. Kazu Morocco. Kazu, you are going to get Naz. Naz is a witch and celebrity magizoologist. She apparently has a big ol' ego, and she opened the unaccredited Naz Academy of Magic Zoology in Brussels. I dig it.
Huh.
I dig it.
All right. I mean, I never pictured Brussels to be the place to learn magic, but you know what? I'd go there.
For Magic Zoology by Naz,
Yeah.
the Naz Academy. I live in Ogden.
Naz
Yes,
Academy.
that one. You get Eye of Newt. It's an ingredient. It's an Eye of a Newt. You just get the one. So
Just the one.
good luck, bud. I call Bone Druid
Is it
Daddy.
used in any specific potions, or?
That's a great question, Sean.
You already clicked off the page, so it doesn't matter.
Does not specify.
Damn, what an in-depth universe.
Though it does specify that in the bloodthirstier times in wizarding history, before the passage of legislation regarding animal cruelty, young wizards and witches were expected to personally pop out the nude eyes they were using in potions.
That's a little fucked up.
Little bit. I call Bone Druid Daddy. You get unidentified Acromantula commander during Battle of Hogwarts.
I'm sorry.
Possibly the most unnecessary. So it's just some dude riding a spider. That's it. That's all. He has his own fucking wiki page. Hinata is a ball of sunshine. You get Amata, who is a female protagonist of The Fountain of Fair Fortune by Beetle the Bard. She suffered from a broken heart, and when she reached the Fountain of Fair Fortune, she realized that she didn't need it. The real Fair Fortune were the friends we made along the ways. So, Enrique Perez Torres, you are gonna get Mundungus Fletcher's file. It's just the ministry's file about Mundungus Fletcher. What a fucking name. Big Mundungus.
Wait a minute. So wait, this is a wiki page for a file of a person.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Big Mundungus.
The fuck? That's a little too meta even for me.
He's just an old balding gentleman who dealt... He was a dealer of wizarding artifacts. There's not a lot here, I'll be honest.
I mean, I remember the character, like, the name of the character from the series, but, like, a page on a file of a person.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. Dedicated sadist. You are going to get Mulciber II. The Dark Wizard, they specify possibly the son of Mulciber.
That's not known.
Something tells me that that's probably true.
It's not. He's got some very important questions he needs to be asking.
He fought in the First Wizarding War and was sent to Azkaban. So, then he fought again, in the Second Wizarding War and was either killed or imprisoned again. Who knows?
Cool.
Connie, I'm going to TPN hell when I die. You are going to get... No, you can't just get a disambiguation page. Come on now.
Even the Wikipedia is scraping the bottom of the barrel.
All right, you get the Devil's Snare trading card. It's the 34th card of the Quidditch Cup expansion of the Harry Potter trading card game.
You know, I usually like wiki deep dives, but this is probably the most disappointing one I've ever been a part of.
There were some hits, there were some misses. But it's all the journey. Moving on, we go to the White House, getting the Chefino Musco Corey in the house tier, the highest echelons that we have. And this week, everybody is getting a different animal to drop. And let's spice it up you're going to be dropping it from varying heights. So, we have Uncreative Cretin. You are going to be dropping a cat.
So the one animal that you can drop without any consequences.
You'd hope, but you are dropping it off of, your local mom and pop shop. So.
That's not great, but at least I think that's pretty standard for a cat.
I think that the cat should survive. Thick mullet, man with the thickest mullet around. You are going to, the animal you are going to be dropping, is, a panda.
Fuck, how are you gonna pick one up?
You know, it might have to be a young one. That's for Thick Mullet to figure out. Or you can just push, I guess. I don't know. And you are dropping it from a monster truck. From just like the top of a monster truck. Then we have Silicon Spectre. You get an axolotl. Probably gonna go splat if I'm being honest. We don't recommend
dropping axolotls off of buildings.
Probably not. Hey, I didn't say that it was gonna be dropped off a building, okay?
What's it gonna be dropped off of, Rem?
A building. Now I've specified. Just any building qualifies, frankly. Last but not least, my dear old mom. My dear old mom, she gets to drop, young me, cause goddamn, I was just a filthy animal when I was young. And
that also explains a lot.
It does, doesn't it? And you get to drop me off of a deceptively steep ditch.
Not even something wholesome like an orphanage or like down a slide or into a ball pit. Just yeeting child Remington.
You know what? It doesn't need to be a yeet. There doesn't need to be active force behind it. Just let go in a deceptively steep ditch.
Just let go. I've been trying to do that for years, Remington. I don't think I'm able to.
Oh, if you guys would like to contact us, whether it's for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter or send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Or your adopted daughter.
Yeah, no, don't. Just watch the anime. Throw the manga in the trash. How dare Grandpappy have an illicit relationship and a child? How dare he?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my god.
You're gonna drop the bunny. If its skull cracks, you're out.
As I'm an orc, my anus has to be huge.